Ahead this morning, school secrecy, the alarming number of schools in one state that are going against federal policies to hide a student's gender identity at school from parents.
I'm sharing a letter on behalf of an Osceola Schools elementary staff member. This spring, I was required to attend a department training called Creating Gender Inclusive Schools. The training began with a statement made by a staff member that included the statement, "No matter what the pushback, we are not going back," regarding the gender inclusion approach in our district.
Staying in academia, let's now hear from a teacher who thinks that they know better than parents what's best for kids and society.
I have a master's degree because when I got certified, I was told I had to have a master's degree to be an Arizona certified teacher. We all have advanced degrees. What do the parents have? Are we vetting the backgrounds of our parents? We must remember that the purpose of public education is not to teach only what parents want their children to be taught. It is to teach them what society needs them to be taught.
No, thank you, lady. Less indoctrination, more education is what parents and society want.
The excerpts that you just watched are the tip of the iceberg. I encourage everyone to click on the links below to view them in their full context. There is a greater battle all around us that we as mortals are incapable of seeing. Public education is just one component of a greater concern, explained in my video, The Seduction of Hate. This is part one of a series of videos I will be creating to increase awareness concerning public education, indoctrination, the attack on family, and the demise of morality within our public schools. Schools that have digressed from institutions where foundational learning should be prioritized to institutions of indoctrination, declining from institutions built on solid bedrock to institutions built on weak shifting sands, based on feeling and emotion rather than academics and literacy. To address this matter, we need to walk it back many years to show how we got where we are today, the damage already done, the current detriment, and the destruction yet to come. In the early 1980s, I noticed a change in employee literacy when the writing of those fresh out of the academy was substandard. Poor grammar, misspelled words, incoherent thought, etc., in an environment that required coherent, comprehensive writing that could pass legal review, making me wonder what was going on. Now I know. Check out this next video.
American education would be comic if it were not so tragic in its consequences. Recently, I received a letter from a school teacher asking for an autographed picture for his class because it would ultimately, ULTEMETLY, help his students to have me as a role model, ROLL. Atypical? Let us hope so. But a few years ago, a study showed the average verbal scholastic aptitude test score for aspiring teachers to be 389 out of a possible 800. With American school children repeatedly finishing at or near the bottom on international test lessons, the response of the education establishment has been to seek ever more non-academic adventures to go off on.
Again, please click on the links provided below to see these videos in their full context. The Italian fascist Mussolini, most noted as an ally of Adolf Hitler in World War II, commented words to the effect that a poorly educated, illiterate society is easier to manipulate and control. Stalin murdered not only the wealthy of Russia, but the highly educated as well. I recall decades ago hearing about how much harder it is to manipulate and control a well-educated population, and how easy it is to manage and control a less literate population. There are numerous writings about how low literacy leads to easier manipulation and control. Are the youth of today, in fact the youth of yesteryear, being educated to better themselves, or less literate pawns primed for manipulation and control, especially in an era of high potential for literacy excellence? Why are we not seeing that? Think about that for a moment.
Talk about some of the dogmas that you feel are driving American education.
Well, one of the dogmas is the notion that you have to feel good about yourself. And I think nothing so epitomizes this for me as a study of mathematics given to 13-year-olds around the world. And Koreans came in first, Americans came in last. And one of the questions that were asked these kids was, are you good at math? 23% of the Koreans said yes. Something like 68% of the Americans said yes. And so American kids felt good about themselves, but they didn't know any math.
We didn't get here overnight. Once you understand the history of the past 60 years, your eyes will be open to how we got here. Getting out of this mess will require mass awareness, recognition, understanding, and a united effort to defeat the evil behind it. What is happening goes far beyond human awareness. Understanding is a beginning. I also recall over 40 years ago the dissatisfaction with a particular teacher who was promoting her political agenda on our sons in early grade school. Impressionable, unsuspecting minds that she was trying to mold to her political view. Indoctrination that was light compared to the brainwashing of today. I recall then that teachers were less interested in proper spelling, proper grammar, and the logical side of learning. It was more about feeling and emotion. They didn't want the children to become overwhelmed and upset over the stress of proper grammar, correct spelling, the use of nouns, pronouns, verbs, etc. Wrong answer. My wife and I did what we could to overcome SEL, which unknowingly blindsided us. We didn't even know SEL existed at that time. We were too busy trying to survive day to day. Listen to this 12-year-old boy as he reads from a book he found in the school library. I encourage you to click on the link below to view the whole video and hear what his father had to say.
Hi, my name is Knox Zajac. I'm 11 years old and I'm middle school. I'm a 6th grader. I was in the library and this book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page. My back over my hips as I asked if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we were both terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
We didn't get here overnight. I was not the smartest in school back in the 1960s. I had a hard time of it from the beginning. But I was taught proper grammar, spelling, punctuation, correct communication, math, and history. When literacy meant something, I was told I'd never go to college back then. That MBA that I have now proves otherwise. Without proper writing skills, that would have been impossible. I don't profess to be the smartest or all-knowing. Only God is all-knowing. We have become a naive, sanctimonious society, ignorant of the greater battle that is going on around us, one that we as mortals are incapable of seeing, but as real as the air we breathe, an accumulation of diabolical maneuvering orchestrated to make mankind ignorant, unsuspecting puppets, leading mankind to the ultimate demise. My desire is to stimulate thinking by exposing, examining, and provoking thought in a hope for greater awareness, mainly exposing what has been stealthily generated to destroy an unsuspecting mankind. It's not a matter of coincidence that there are a compilation of events destroying the secular world. It's a part of an evil design, a topic worth delving into in the future. I encourage all to click on the links below for the full content of each video. View them in the context which they were intended. You will gain a deeper insight, greater perspective about the numerous deceptions surrounding us. Deceptions with one devastating goal. Please be sure to subscribe for future videos where more will be revealed. I also encourage you to do further research to increase your knowledge, further your education, and be better informed. I will see you in the next video.